Hello, friends. This is your friend Hilda, Miss H, speaking. And I come to you to talk about this issue that is very urgent, something we really need to look into. We need to discuss it. It's a problem that we need to work on urgently. I recently had an interview with SADC on their Facebook Fridays, and they just wanted to check how I am doing after 6 long years of losing a loved one to suicide. So the interview was to check on how I'm doing, how am I coping, what are my coping skills, how can I advise those who are in the same position. So I was very vocal about how we, especially we Black South Africans, we don't talk about suicide. We just don't. It's one of those taboo things. It carries this huge, giant, heavy stigma. We to a point that we don't even disclose our loved one's cause of death, because then we have to carry the stigma, and it's something we don't want. So after speaking a lot about how we don't speak about suicide, I then took a few moments to look at myself and ask myself, so you say we don't talk about this. You say there's not enough platforms. You say resources are outstretched. So what have you done? Have you created any platforms? Have you offered any resources? Have you looked or found, or are there any resources that you can come up with? Have you engaged with your community, with people around you about suicide and the grief that follows after suicide? And the answer is, to a certain extent, I have spoken to people about suicide, but mostly it was those who came to me to say, look, we are facing this problem. We are experiencing this, maybe a brother or a sister or a friend, parent, someone is suicidal, or we have already lost someone, which is a little too late. When we have lost one person, it's one person too many. So people have fear of the stigma, and that is why we don't talk about it. So I am making this video particularly to create a platform. I want us to start today, right this moment, to talk about suicide and what it does to us, because it is now on our doorstep. For many, many years, it used to happen, and to people we didn't know, so it was just numbers. Now it's eating right in our homes. We have to talk about this. We have to find a solution. We have to look this monster in the eye and sort him out and save our loved ones. For the most part, people don't even ask for help because they fear the stigma. And in my speaking to people about suicide, I've spoken to people who are already facing it. I haven't really engaged with the ones that are casting the stigma upon others. Those are the people we need to bring to the table. We need people who are already struggling with suicidal thoughts. Families who are facing or supporting a person who's struggling with suicidal thoughts. A person who has attempted suicide. We need to start speaking about suicide. And not just speaking, but doing something about it. Looking after our mental health. Supporting those who need support. Supporting those who are supporting the ones who need support. That's what we need to be talking about. I have received, subsequently to that interview, a lot of questions via DM from people who have concerns, some about the way I addressed or the way they say advised people. But here's the thing. I was responding based on how I am dealing with the situation, not how I think people should deal with their grief. Grief is an individual journey. We might be mourning the loss of the same person, but all 1 million of us, each one of us has got their own way of dealing with grief. So that which I stated in that video is how I'm handling my business. Now I'm creating this platform so that we can gather together, because I see the numbers based on the DMs that I've received. I can see how many people have been affected and touched by suicide. I want us, all of us, and those people who have been affected by suicide, those who survived it, those who are grieving because of it, to come together and share ideas and speak about this monster that's eating us alive. Where do we go from here? Let us create that platform. Let us be the ones to eradicate the stigma so that the coming generations will find it easy to ask for help, so that the coming generations will know that it does not have to end in suicide. It doesn't even have to go that route. So let us come together. Let us speak about this. Let us support people who need support. Let us also look after our own mental health. That is where it starts. We need to really take a stand against suicide. It's not just Black people's problem. It's not just one community's problem. It's not just a problem based on your social standing. It's everybody's problem. We are all struggling with it. Even if you haven't experienced it yourself in your family or with a friend, you are not clear of it just yet. So come with us. Let's join hands. Let us find a suitable place and time to sit down and talk. You guys, I didn't know that so many people knew how to get hold of me. So please, let us do it. Get hold of me. Let us talk. Let us start a serious movement. Rally against those who need us. Let us help everyone who is facing this monster. Let's help them win this war. It's not only for them, it is for our own loved ones as well. It is for our own health and happiness as well. Let us join hands. The journey starts now. I'll be back with another video. Please get hold of me. Ta-da!